Welcome to The Buck Stops in the Boardroom, empowering today's directors. We start with a true story I call A Bird in the Hand. Well, I didn't come up with the name. That's how the Wall Street Journal titled their article about the acquisition of Gordon Jewelry Corporation by Zale Jewelers in 1989. Today you'll discover much more of the story and the Wall Street Journal could ever tell you. At the time, Gordon's was the second largest retail jeweler in the country, with over 660 stores in 44 states and Puerto Rico, and with over $500 million in annual revenue. Zale was the largest retail jeweler in the United States, with over 1,100 stores and $1 billion in annual revenue. Gordon's was founded by my grandfather, M.M. Gordon, with one store in 1905 in Houston, Texas. My father and uncle grew the company into the second largest retail jeweler. Gordon's stock had been publicly traded since 1963 on the New York Stock Exchange, and Gordon's was family managed and controlled at the time of the acquisition in 1989. At that time, I was a member of the board and the executive vice president of Gordon's. Zale and Ratner's Jewelers, the largest retail jeweler in England, were the final two bidders to buy Gordon's after a 3-month-long auction sales process. At Gordon's upcoming board meeting, Zale and Ratner's were going to make their best and final offer to acquire Gordon's. The critical issue for the board at our meeting in February of 1989 was price versus certainty. And since our board had decided months before that it was in the best interest of the company and its shareholders to put the company up for sale, the board now had a duty to our shareholders to maximize the purchase. At 2 a.m. and after 8 hours in our board meeting, the time had come for the board to choose Zale or Ratner's offer. Zale's CEO and his team had flown from Toronto to Houston in their private jet and had been waiting for over 12 hours for our board to accept or reject their take-it-or-leave-it offer. However, by 2 a.m, Zale was tired of waiting. Further, about that time, our board and its advisors, Goldman Sachs and our Wall Street law firm, had just finished a conference call to England with Gerald Ratner, Ratner's CEO, in which he assured our board that Ratner's offer was conditioned only on a rubber stamp approval from the Ratner's board in England, and that approval would be coming in just a few hours. Our board had two choices: accept Ratner's conditional $39 per share all-cash offer, conditioned only on a rubber stamp approval by Ratner's board of directors, or accept Zale's unconditional but lower take-it-or-leave-it offer of $37.50 per share all cash, $1.50 less per share than Ratner's. Our board primarily based our decision on the following. Ratner's higher offer would provide $38 million more in cash to our shareholders than Zale's lower offer. Ratner's had acquired retail jewelry chains in the U.S. in the past, so Ratner's had a track record of closing acquisitions in the U.S. The representations by Gerald Ratner in our conference call that his board's approval would be a rubber stamp and that approval would be delivered in just a few hours. Both Goldman Sachs and our legal advisors recommended we accept Ratner's offer. And our board analysis and discussion of the price versus certainty issue. We felt reasonably certain that the risk of Ratner's board not approving the offer was relatively small compared to the extra $38 million in cash our shareholders would receive if Ratner's board did approve. In short, we relied on Gerald Ratner's word that his board approval would be a rubber stamp. Based on all of the above, our board voted unanimously to accept Ratner's $39 offer and to reconvene the board meeting at 2 p.m. later that day to confirm receipt of Ratner's board's approval.